Okay. Hi, everybody. I must apologize. So we're back. We actually had some technical issues, and I do apologize. It looked like when Keechan left, actually, I wasn't logged in, so it kicked me out and it ended. So I'm back. Sorry so much. So I'm Jinx again. Just want to introduce myself again in case you guys forgot who I was. We are talking about staying cool in cosplay. Kind of like how people deal with like cosplay in the summertime. Hi, cool gamer. And just trying to like keep the cosplay going during the summer. If you didn't join us just before we got kicked off, I live in Arizona and it is 100+ degrees up here. So it's a little nuts how hot it is. Staying in cosplay in this temperature is really, really challenging. We talked just before we got disconnected about cooling vests and cooling packs, ice packs. I'm actually going to look up this one that we were talking about with Chibi. And it's something that has like, I think the ones I bought were made at a craft fair, but I think they make them cooling neck pack. Well, they do have towels that are cooling. The only problem with that, though, is that, like, obviously, if it's wet, it's difficult if your costume is going to be affected by it. But me, as I mentioned before, I take medications that increase my body temperature. This is a nice one. Oh, it's for injuries, but it's still nice. Oh, and these are the other ones that I was talking about. So let's share these. Okay, here we go. Hi, everybody. Sorry, we disconnected from Facebook and Twitch and YouTube when Chibi left. So I'm going to share this. Share screen. Here we go. So I was talking about how I had these neck cooling things, but you have to get them wet and then they soak up water. This could be a good option. It's primarily for injuries, but we know it can keep you cool as well. So this you could probably wear underneath, or the way that it is, maybe you could like wrap it around yourself. That could work. And then I had another one here. So these are the ones that I was talking about that soak up with water. The problem is, again, is like they'll be wet on your neck. But these ones I've used. And of course, it's always more important to be cool. Having your body temp down. I love this one. They make it look really fashionable. So that's another option too. I'm going to look up this cooling vest. Cooling vest. Now, for people that wear armor or have builds, these are good to have underneath your builds. So we're just going to look at what my search came up with. Let's see here. Cooling vests. So, wow, $500. This one's a little more affordable at $60. High Ergodyne Chill. Okay. So do cooling vests really work? So a couple of different kinds here. I would imagine that you'd probably want one that wasn't very bulky. Born to Feel. I would think that like this one, let's see. This one doesn't look too bad. Cooling ice vest. Oh, so this is like a whole ice pack. Yikes. How about this one? Oh, this is like $400 though. Whoa. So, oh, hi.
Hi.
So what happened was you were, when I removed you, the stream went bye-bye.
Oh no, my service I have new internet service coming in because my internet is so bad that it just keeps disconnecting everything all the time.
But I think it was because you were like logged in under it. I don't know.
Oh, maybe.
But then when I went back, I was able to start a new stream. So I don't know why it ended when you removed, because I think, well, anyway, we're back.
I'm so sorry.
No, you're fine. We might just cut this one short then if you've got internet issues and, you know, we have a second broadcast anyway. But I was just showing, I was sharing screen about like let me see.
I honestly don't know how long I'll be here. I am here for now.
No problem. Anthony says ice pack vest, nice. Yep. So I imagine those are probably gonna be too bulky. This looks like an ice pack vest.
Yeah, and they're actually not too hard to like, because the one we use at the workshop is like one we made, and so we just so we basically got some like really insulated materials and then just kind of netted the inside where you can slide ice packs into, so you can kind of make it as bulky or not as you want. I also do a lot of like female armor, which is only this big, so like just having a pack right in this area helps a lot.
Interesting. Yeah, because these ones are obviously our full chest vest. This one was like the whole thing looks like ice, which I'm like, woo, I might be like too cold. So, and then these ones look like electronic ones that are a lot fancier because they're like $400-$500. So intense. So do you guys have like a tutorial on how you made your vest? Because that'd be something interesting to share.
No, it was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Before I did tutorials and stuff was when we made all this. So, I mean, I could probably make another one because ours is dying. But
yeah, that'd be really good, especially if you could figure out, like, if you could share as well as like how to make certain pieces, especially for women, like or not just even just women, just anyone with skimpier armor pieces.
Right.
Like it's funny because
I mean, it's really just the process of finding some ice packs that you feel are right, and then crafting a slip or a sleeve or something over the top that will hold it to you. It really wasn't that big of a process. Like I said, I found a really good insulated fabric, and then we got some ice packs that were pretty medium but like really flat, and then we just created like little pockets essentially for them to slide right into. So it was a really easy process, very simple, and it was way cheaper than buying those ones online. And then you can make them for like, if you have armor pieces, you can always make small ones for like bracers or leg pieces. Helmets are always a big one. Like I know a lot of people do fans, but if you're not like super high tech like I am,
I'm not.
That kind of just a small ice pack is very helpful.
Yeah, I don't think I could figure that out either. So Anthony says, love your hairdo, Jinx. Thank you. I woke up like this, literally. Ray says, fans and bucket helmets are also helpful. That I think is really good because I get really stuffy. Like I could not survive in a bucket. I would just like, ugh, I hate it. So that's interesting. I'd love to get someone on who builds those. Anthony says, would love Widowmaker swimwear or Ash poolside cosplay due to the summer weather. I do think about those cosplays, but also like I like Widowmakers, but then she's all purple and that's just like, ugh, exhausting. So yeah, so guys, if you do, like, let us know where you are. If summer's better for where you guys are, or if winter's better for where you guys are. Winter's so much better for us. We don't have enough events in the winter though. I don't know why. People, of course, because it's like the holiday season too. Everyone gets super busy with holiday events.
I feel like we've had a drift. A lot of cons have been moving to summer for us because for a long time it was pretty much just Renaissance fairs in the summertime. And now we're seeing kind of a shift because Emerald City just moved to August, and we have a couple of new events like I guess SummerCon's been around a while, but like that one is an entire outdoor event pretty much. Like there's buildings with like artist alley and stuff, but it is like localized outside. And so we're seeing a lot more of that in our area, but our area, like, we have certain dry periods and wet periods that like we have to like plan around.
Yeah. Yeah, like I wish we could ask Phoenix Fan Fusion. Like, I wish they would tell us why they decided to move to June, because all of us think that's nuts. Every single person thinks it's nuts. Even people that aren't in cosplay think it's nuts because, like, yeah, you're indoors, but you're still having to, you know, and especially with the way they had registration, that was all outdoors. So if literally everything is inside, that's fine. But for Phoenix Fan Fusion, they block off some of the outside for like food trucks and for some of the other vendors. And so that's really something to consider too, is like, you do encourage people to be outside during this event. But it's like dying, like it's so hot. Yeah, Ray says, oh yeah, registration was a mess. Like, I know several years ago, they used to have it indoors. So I don't know why
that's crazy. I mean, the thing about like cons moving is it can sometimes be like the location got bought out by a bigger person during that time period that they want, or they just don't have like the seniority to go, hey, I want first pick of this place. Because like I know a couple of cons that they get first pick for their dates because they've either been working, like they've been using that space for so long, or they have some connections. And so like the unfortunate thing, because like two of my favorite cons moved dates recently, and I've just not been able to go to them because their date movement just, it screwed me over basically. Because one of my favorite summer cons used to be KomoriCon, which was fine because I can always take time off in summer, but they moved it to the fall. And for me, like my job, I can't take time off in the fall very easily. It's very hard. And so like the fact that they moved to fall, it just basically screwed up all my plans. But they couldn't get the convention center during the dates that they wanted, and so they decided to choose fall. And then now they've just used that, like that is now their dates, and they've just decided to stick with them, which I guess is okay. It's just very frustrating for like people that are like, I liked this con because it took place during these dates during this time, and it just was very convenient. I'm hoping to go this year. Like that, my plan is to try to go this year because it's in Portland, so it's a little bit further for me. But it's just so like I get so frustrated thinking about it because it used to be a summer con. It took place during June, which was like things are starting to warm up, and it was kind of 50-50 indoors, outdoors. There was so many events in the park area, and I really enjoyed that. And it's just very like, now it's in the fall, so all of my costumes have to be like winterized because it's going to be freezing cold,
right?
And wet and rainy. And like if you have a long walk between your hotel and like do you have an umbrella? Can you carry that?
Yeah.
But Washington, it's literally a fight with the rain. Like, can your costume withstand the rain? Like, for me, the hardest part of SoccerCon is I wore a costume. Actually, it was Emerald City, I think was worse, is I had water-based paint because that's all we had for my Kiri. And so I had to be super careful anytime I went outside because the moisture just wicked it right away.
Right. And so for us, it's funny because when we did Phoenix Fan Fusion, we had a short walk from our hotel to the convention center, and I did consider, like, I did bring an umbrella for different reasons because I was covering the sun with the umbrella. So for me, that's what I need to think about is like, okay, well, you know, is it long enough? Do I need to bring the umbrella and walk? And luckily, I had that for the check-in, the registration to an umbrella, and it helped. But it was difficult. Ray
says, have any like, how do you guys handle like water and stuff up there? Because like, did the convention centers have like fountains and stuff, so it's easy to get access to water, or
so they're
special because it's harder there?
Well, the convention center does have water fountains. They've upgraded to the bottle filler ones, or wait, did they? I can't remember, but they do have water fountains. And then it's kind of like, well, I'm not sure on the law, but if the temperature is like over 100 degrees outside, like any establishment has to give you water if you ask, like just, you know, tap water, not like any fancy bottled water. So they do have in a food court downstairs, they have the drink fountains, and I think in there you can ask for a water cup and just get water. So it's not too difficult to get water there. Let's see. Yeah, Ray says we need to move it to January. I know. I wonder what's going on in January, like why they can't put it back there in January. I know that there's a lot. Oh, Chibi's been replaced by Peppadoo. Peppadoo, hi. It's CosTalkLive with Cats, my dream show. So I would love it to be in January. I don't know why. Like, I know a lot of like big events do happen in Phoenix, which is strange. Like, you don't really think of Phoenix as like a place where conventions are held, but they actually do hold a lot of conventions here because the weather's always good or always decent. Ari Al says January has Anime Los Angeles. Yeah, and I've never been to that one. But even like Anime Expo is like smack dab in the middle of summer, and that's okay, you know, in LA. So Ray says, I was only in line for 15 minutes the first time, but had to get out and go cool down. Oof. And try again because it was so hot. Now that sucks because you've gotten out of line and you had to go back. Ari Alice says, wasn't TaiYuCon in January? Yes, but that's a very tiny con. Like, and it's very anime focused. So it, you know, nothing on the scale of what Phoenix Fan Fusion is. There's also like Tempe LibCon is in January, which is great. And they do Glendale LibCon. So the library cons tend to be during the cooler weather. But of course, they can control that because, you know, they're doing it, holding it at their own event venue. Anime Expo has shade and gives water at registration line, which is outdoors. So if they had like water prepared, that would be good. But still, it's like even at our temperatures, like passing out water is not enough because that sun beating down on you is painful. It is super painful. Summer cons make sense anywhere else that doesn't have AZ heat issues. 100%. So actually, we're having so I was going to talk, the next thing I'm going to talk about was the Gambate pop-up number 4. So that one actually is going to be July 16th. I know, smack dab in the middle of summer, but it is all going to be indoors at the Sun Studios in Tempe. So I think the only thing that will be outdoors is the cars and food trucks. And this will be, oh gosh, what's the timing? I believe it's going to be more in the evening. So I have done a walkthrough of the Sun Studios, very air conditioned, which is so nice. Apparently they've been holding a couple other events there. They held FearCon there, and they hold a lot of other events too. So that's going to be July 16th. CosTalkLive is helping out with the costume contest. I'll be hosting it, and then Thermo Cosplay will be a judge as well. Let me see if I can find information on that to share. So that is something that we're going to have to be prepared for as well. I would love to. So I actually talked about AZ CosCon that I wanted to have in November. I'm going to have to push this event back. Ideally, I want it in February or March. That was when I wanted it to be permanently. And the reason why it was going to be in November this year was just because I had to keep pushing back. And I might as well just keep it as it is, give myself enough time, you know, to build sponsors and everything. Oh, so Peppadoo was sat there like for a while on camera, like, where'd you go? Oh, you're muted, by the way. You're muted. Can't unmute. Oh, you're muted.
Sorry, she's my fill-in while I'm not here.
Yeah, but it was so cute because like you just sat there and then all of a sudden like a little cat head popped up.
No, her favorite spot right now is to like snuggle in right behind my back. So she tends to just sit in my chair right here.
Yeah, but that was just so funny because you like disappeared because I guess maybe your vendors needed you, and then she just like popped up. And so there's just a cat in your chair. It was really cute. You need to go back and look at it.
No, so I'm dealing with the internet person, and it's been a mess already. So.
Oh yeah, no problem. Like we finally got. So I have a 2-level house, and we finally wired it ourselves to go upstairs because it wasn't wired upstairs. So I remember before that my connection was not great. So now my computer's wired, and it helps a lot. So. Yeah. So, okay. So I was talking about the Gambate pop-up because we have one coming up July 16, which is going to be pretty hot, but most of it is indoors. I'm just going to pull this up here. And CosTalkLive is helping with the cosplay contest. So, yeah. So there's early bird ends at 6:25. Oh, that was yesterday. Ooh, I wonder if we'll extend it. The Sun Studios in Tempe. So that should be a lot of fun. And I believe this is 12 p.m. to 9 p.m. So it'll go into the evening. So it should hopefully be cool. Yeah. So how's it going for you? Did they leave or are they still there?
They're working on it.
Oh, okay. So
yeah, no, he has to do a bunch of outside work though because I'm switching to fiber internet,
Mm-hmm.
and my house is very old and doesn't have it, so they have to do a lot of like prep work and stuff. It's just weird because I'm moving my internet downstairs now, and so it's going to be a little weird, but I have extenders, so pray for me. Like,
I had an extender for a while until I got like, hardwired in. So, but
no, I'm getting it figured
yeah.
out. So I just want this to be over with because it was supposed to be done on Thursday, and then they
Oh
couldn't come out
gosh.
here, and it's just been such a mess.
Oh, that's okay. I did mention that if we needed to end the show early today, that's okay.
I mean,
you're going
he's
in and
going to be
out.
outside for the next hour, so like it doesn't matter anymore. I'm just sorry.
Okay.
Like, I got all dressed up and like I had to change real fast.
I know, right? It was like, oh no, they can't see me in this costume.
Well, they said like the company's like, oh, we'll call you an hour before you show up, so you have when we're coming, and then they never called.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, and they also said it was going to be between like 8 and 11 or between 1 and like something. So I'm like, oh, perfect. That'll be plenty of time. But of course not.
Right. Do they ever tell the truth? No.
Oh,
never.
no.
No. So, okay. So, talking about I want to talk kind of about the rest of the year's events to look forward to. So what have you got coming up this year?
I got a couple of things. So this summer I'm putting together a My Hero group for Washington. It's going to be a fantasy group. We just want to do a photo shoot. It's the group actually from SakuraCon because not everybody could show up, and I had to leave early, and so we're like, well, why don't we just meet up at a NotCon? So we're doing that this summer, which I'm really excited about. I've kind of been toying with the idea of maybe doing like a beach something at some point.
That'll be fun.
Like, locals. Just because our normal meetup actually got canceled this spring, and then they moved it. Well, they moved it to summer, then it got canceled because things have been really busy for the owners. So it's like, well, maybe we'll figure something out. I know we have Emerald City coming up in August here. I sadly cannot go. It is the same weekend during a convention that I've committed myself to in Canada. So I will be doing Kelowna Comic-Con in August. It's, I think, the second or third weekend. Third weekend.
Kelowna
Comic-Con. It's fairly small. Kelowna is a city that's up in like the northeastern side of BC. And I'm basically going because some of my favorite cosplayers of all time are going to be judges there, and I want to do a good build. And because every time I've met them, I have been out of like in silly builds or in fun things or in nothing that I've built, and so I'm like, I need to go and meet these humans with something I'm proud of. Because every single time I've run into Weeru, it's always in one of my like, I didn't know this costume. But he's a judge there, and so I'm going to go and actually be part of the cosplay competition.
What date is that con? Because I can't find it. Or can you type how do you spell it? Kelowna?
Kelowna, K-E. Let me just.
Kelowna. Because I Googled it and then a city in Sri Lanka came up and I'm like, that's not right. That's not right. Kelowna?
BC. So Kelowna. Nobody told my partner I can't spell that out of the top of my head.
Kelowna.
So it's the 20th and 21st. And so if we have any Canadian watchers, but it's going to be kind of smaller, which will be nice. I've kind of been out of big cons, so I'm okay with something small. I know Anime Revolution is also at the.
So there, I found it. They've got a cute little website. So they're calling it a pop-up. So it's a little smaller.
Yeah, so it's really fun though. I've heard some really fun things about it. This will be my first time going to this con. But it'll be super chill, which I'm just excited about because like the last couple of cons, I've literally just been working like the whole con. So I'm like, this one I'm gonna go to and just like competition, and that's it. I'm just gonna go and like see the panels and like hang out with people I haven't seen in a long time, and just be a human. So that I'm very excited about. I sadly couldn't go to SummerCon, which was last weekend.
SummerCon.
Yeah, so that was last weekend here in Washington. I know Anime Revolution is in July in our area. That's up in Vancouver, Canada. I'm also probably going to skip that one because Ren Fair in my area is like the first weekend of August, and I miss Ren Fair very much. So I'm probably going to choose Ren Fair over that one.
Do you guys only have one weekend for your Ren Fair?
3 weekends. I just
3
like, it's in
weekends.
August, so I already know the third weekend is busy because I'll be there, and so it's going to be one of the other two. And I think the My Hero group meetup's going to be on the other weekend. So whatever we end up deciding, like August is my convention, like super busy time. And then same with like October, because in October can I say this yet? I'll be at Pentacon. I guess I'm it hasn't been announced yet, but I'm a guest at Pentacon, which is another smaller convention in Canada. Yeah, so I assume I can say this fine. I didn't sign anything, but it's really fun, and it's a con I've actually guested before, and I love dearly, and I already like miss the atmosphere, and so I'm really excited to be able to go again. I'm so excited to go, and so that's going to be in October, and then directly after that in November is KomoriCon. So like August is super busy for me, and then like the end of October, like early November, I'm going to be crazy busy again, because Kumo is going to be my busy con probably. I mean, I'll be guesting Penti, so I'll be busy the whole time, but like Kumo, I want to do the competition because they have a really good comp there, and I have a couple of panels. I'm actually going to apply for panels probably this week. So that's kind of my layout this year, is just hit a couple small cons this summer and have fun.
So you guys don't do much in the like November, December, January?
No, like that's really, I guess so we have a couple. So we have Geek Girl Con is in October now, I think it's Halloween weekend. Don't quote me, it's been a couple of years. And then we have KomoriCon, which is in Portland, and that's also in the fall, but that's pretty much it. Like, it's so wet and rainy and gross in our area that we don't do a lot. King Con is towards December. And
King Con was Halloween.
Oh, right. No, they moved to Halloween. So, yeah, because that's what I did last Halloween. I don't know if they're doing Halloween again this year. I honestly don't know if I'm going again this year. It was a very different con experience and very interesting, and I'm not entirely sure I had enough fun to want to, like, put that much money and time into it. But, like, we don't have a lot of cons during that time because it's just so cold and wet for us that it's gross and nobody really wants to go out. So a lot of our things are like summer, and that's it.
Is it common for you guys, for like, you know, Pacific Northwest, and this is kind of in general, like northern cosplayers to want to travel like out? I mean, that's a perfect time to come to. Well, we usually have Tucson Comic Con in November. It usually is in November,
right?
Which is really great.
I do know a good chunk of cosplayers that do a lot of traveling for their conventions, because like I have a group and they go to like CostalkCon every year, and they go to some East Coast cons every year. And then I have a couple of friends that are Arizona, Washington people, so they go back and forth between the cons there.
Well, I feel like ColossalCon is like a destination con.
Yeah,
so
right.
It's not fair to say that like, oh, it's hot, so we leave. It's more like they travel there because it's ColossalCon. You know what I mean?
Right.
Which I don't know why we don't have a water park con here in Arizona, because hello.
Would be perfect.
It's just that I think because most of our water parks are not like ideal for that. The only place I could think of would be the Grand, and that's like a resort, so that's too expensive for people to stay there because they have a water park inside. Another place actually might be that White Fox Lodge or whatever was just built recently. But other than that, our three main water parks are just not conducive to like a convention because they're just standalone parks.
Got it.
So that would be a little tricky.
The thing is, like in Seattle, so we have like our three big cons, because there's like Emerald City, PAX West, and SakuraCon all happen in Seattle. And so like we have those big cons and these huge events that happen. So it wasn't until a couple of years ago that smaller events actually started popping up and getting popular. And like now we're starting to like get some like headway, because I know Geek Girl's been around long enough to like actually start growing. And then like same with Kumo's, but that's down in Portland, so it's a little different. But like we just didn't have a lot of like smaller other events for a long time, because we had those three big events and they were spread out during good times of the year, because before Emerald City was in like either January or April, and then PAX was in the summer. I guess in SakuraCon is Easter weekend. So like they were kind of spread out for like a couple of months, but now Emerald City changed date and PAX changed dates. And so they're kind of all bunching together, and it's kind of, you got to choose like which con you're going to go to.
Right. Like, because for us, a lot of pop-ups happened. They were happening before, they started before the pandemic.
Mhm.
And then, of course, they were on hold. And after the pandemic, 2022 was like pop-up every weekend. It was crazy, which, I'm not disappointed about. It's just that there's so many now that sometimes they're falling on the same weekends. And I'm like, come on, like,
Right.
don't make
And, like, that's the problem I have this year is, like, all of the events I'm interested in doing are all landing on the same weekends. And so, like,
yeah.
I literally have to choose what experience do I want more, which is, like,
Right.
I weighed the pros and cons of doing Emerald City versus Kelowna Comic Con because I'm like, I've actually very much been enjoying Emerald City. It's not my usual, like, go-to for a con, but, like, being with you guys last year or like in the December and stuff, that was so much fun. And I really enjoyed like the experience. But like Emerald City itself is kind of too big for me. Like I get a little overwhelmed and I don't do the same con stuff I do there that I do at other places. So I was just like, I think I would rather go to a smaller convention where I feel like I would enjoy myself a little more. Like, yeah, it's only 2 days and it's a small con, but like I get so overwhelmed at Emerald City that I only go for like 2 days anyways.
Aww.
So it's like, I don't know. I feel like that's a good balance for me. And
yeah,
somebody was
that's fair enough.
mentioned Comic Con is a thing. Yes, I forgot. I'm sorry.
Comic
Con was actually something that happened recently.
In Washington, is that Washington?
Yeah, I've never went to that one though because Renton is kind of far for me. But I heard it was really good this year. So
nice. And a couple other comments. Anthony says, "Have you played Genshin Impact and also thinking about a character you might cosplay from?" Have you played Genshin?
No,
I haven't either, and I do want to because I love the costumes.
I love the costumes and like all of my friends are into it. I was waiting for it to come to the Switch because I'm a Nintendo player and like that's my main system, and then it never did. So like honestly, if it was on the Switch, I probably would be all over it. But like my laptop just isn't. It just wouldn't run that game as well as it should be played.
I think you can play mobile too, can't you?
It destroys your battery. Like it literally destroys your phone. And so like I just haven't had the right system to play Genshin, which is kind of sad. Like I keep seeing the costumes and I'm like, that's that character.
I know, same. And I'm like, I want to at least have said I played it before I cosplay from it. So that's why I haven't tapped into a Genshin cosplay. Matthew says, sad part about AZ cons is they book out of tourist season, hotels of openings, but it's for their pocket and benefit. But I wish they'd think how that affects the con experience. I'd be willing to pay more for a better date, but of course they'd most likely triple. Yeah. I mean, at the end, it's about the money, which it's unfortunate because it's like even if every con starts out with great intentions to be like for the fans, eventually they have to survive because it's a business in the end of the day. And you said the new lodge built would be dope for a WaterCon. Yeah, I need to look into that. Let's look into it, Matthew. Let's see what we can do. He's playing Genshin right now. Ray says was waiting for the Switch. Anthony said, I'm hoping it would come to the Switch so I can play it. My iPad keeps crashing. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's a pretty hardy game. So like I know my phone could handle it, but like I already have Twisted Wonderland and a bunch of other big games.
I want to play Twisted Wonderland.
Oh my God, it's so good. See, that's my obsession right now. Is like I'm literally obsessed with Twisted Wonderland. I'm
gonna download it right now because I've been meaning to download it, and I just keep.
I have never done anything Disney. I've never done a Disney cosplay. I mean, I grew up as a Disney kid, but like it was just never on my radar. And then I started Twisted Wonderland, and now I have 3 costumes that I'm working on for that. And like, I'm like, of course, it's hot boys that drag me into Disney hell. That's how it is.
Yeah, so and the art. The art is just like, oh my God.
Yeah, so the artist is actually the artist who made Kurshitsuji. And so she's the designer of the characters and the world and stuff. And you can tell it's absolutely gorgeous. And it's really fun. It's your typical like gacha card game from Japan. But it has like a battle system and like a music system. And like there's a bunch of little things that kind of add up and make the game unique compared to a lot of the other card games. So I've enjoyed it. I like we're on the house, my favorite house right now. So I've been really excited to play because this art is
I've just downloaded it.
Another convert.
Wait, that was the wrong screen. Okay, well, anyway, it just says connected.
It's working on it.
Whee! Oh my gosh. Okay, turn it off, Jessica. I go focus on the show. Okay. So I'm sure I'm gonna want to cosplay from that too. But yeah, I tried it. I have not been doing a lot of like phone games, just mostly because I just play enough games on PC and console as it is. I'm like, oof, I can't dominate every single one. I did download a couple games that I haven't really played. So I did download oh gosh, how do I get out of here? The Final Fantasy First Soldier, but I haven't played it. I have Last Fortress. Okay. These little zombie games. But yeah.
I've been playing Animal Crossing again. I got sick last week and I could not do anything or have enough brain power to like play anything with like any kind of substance. So I have been redoing my island on Animal Crossing, and
that's what I do with yeah, that's what I do with Don't Starve Together. So I go through phases where I'm just like on it every day, and I think my husband's like, why are you playing it so much? The last like 2 months have been so jam-packed and busy. Like I just like zone out and Don't Starve. I'm just like and I play on a public server that I've made a couple friends on, so it's like sometimes I'm just like, okay, I just need to go and check my crops.
See, that's so fun though, and like I'm trying to get the drive to work on cosplay again. This month has very much kicked my butt. I'm hoping that because July is starting, like cons and events are happening again, I might get like that spark. But like I had some rough times with a couple of goodbyes this month, and like I feel like my schedule got kind of thrown off, and so I've been really struggling, and like I need to start working on my costumes so it'll be ready in August. So I'm just really like I just got to find a way to like channel cosplay energy again, and like.
And I think it's always like the summertime feels like you have more time because you say August, right? But then like there's a whole month, like July, but that month's gonna go by so fast, and it's gonna be August before you know it, because I'm
so scared.
Yeah, our next big event is Game On Expo in August as well, and there's a cosplay that I've had, on my to-do list for forever. It's Symmetra's magician skin that I want to get done for a Game On Expo. But I mean, I even have the material, I have some of the material to start, and I just never have. And of course, that was my plan for Game On Expo 2020. So I think a lot of those projects I just got really demotivated from.
Yeah.
But no, yeah.
I'm working on Shaoran from Cardcaptor Sakura, and because with the 20th anniversary and everything, I'm like, this is the perfect time to like actually get into it.
Yeah, me too. I've been watching it too.
So I've been really excited about this piece, but I like drifted away from it. And I think I'm going to sit down and like watch Clear Card and just be like, okay, hopefully this will get me like the kick in the butt I need, because I'm going to be doing a Clear Card outfit. No, that's the only that's the only costume I have like planned and being like, okay, this is for this competition for the here, and then outside of that I don't have anything. I'm just kind of putting things together because I've been working on Reki, kind of adding details to D-Lit, and I'm working on Twisted Wonderland. So like that's been kind of, but I don't want to put dates on them. I'm trying to get better about like, okay, I have this costume, I want to do it, but I'm just going to do it, and like when it's done, it'll just go to that con.
Right, not pressure yourself.
Yeah, I used to do too many builds all at once, and I've been trying to be healthier, more mindful, and work through some of that and try to like focus. And so that's what I've been really working on, is like, okay, I have one big build, and this is the only one I have really planned. And then outside of that, I'm just having fun and working on projects that I just want to put together.
Absolutely. Matthew says you need to play Disney Mirrorverse. Yes, that's another one that I keep thinking about playing.
I just watched a commercial for that. I'm scared. I'm gonna get into that because it has very D&D vibes, and I'm like, oh no, Mean Bells and Adventurer, like Artificer. I'm like, oh no.
I know, they're so cool. So maybe I need to get into that. Ray says I have an Inuyasha island. Oh, I was like,
oh, that's amazing.
I thought we were talking about cosplay, but then you're like island. I was Animal Crossing. Anthony says, hoping Genshin Impact has crossplay. You could crossplay whatever you want from there. I see people do it all the time. Matthew says, excited for Game On. Me too. It's my favorite event. So I can talk about like the events that we have coming up in our town. So our next one is Game On Expo. It's under 10 years old. It's a fairly newish one when we talk about, the age of our other events. And of course, it's focused on games. And it's held in a part of the Phoenix Convention Center. And one of my favorite things they do is they have rock band on stage. So you can feel like a real rock star. Matthew, I think last year we played a little bit, and that was a lot of fun. And we're trying to get CTL to have a presence there as well. Because we do know some of the coordinators, and I really love it. You see the owner of Game On walk the floor a lot. So he's really into it. and he loves, you know, the whole like fandom, the event, and you'll see him if you know who he is. Like, I know who he is, so I see him like almost every day I'm there. So that's really cool to see, and that really makes me love Game On more. I imagine when he gets busier and busier, it might be more difficult, but the fact that he still just shows up is like really cool. Like, he loves to enjoy his own con. So that's really neat. And then September is Sabo. So Sabotencon is another anime-focused convention, and that's held in downtown Phoenix. However, this year, and I think it has to do with the way their convention center was booked, Tucson Comic-Con will be in September as well. They just finished construction, so they added a hotel to the convention center. So that's the one that Sam and I will be going to. We're going to be going to Tucson Comic-Con, and that's one of my favorite ones too, because it's a lot smaller, but it's not too small. Like, it's still a really good size. And then the funny thing is like October, November, December, there's like nothing big, which is like, this is the perfect time when, and of course I wanted to have AZ CosCon in November, but I have to push that back. There are smaller events. So we do have Glendale LibCon in December. And there's Glendale Glitters, which is a holiday event, but people like to cosplay at it. I imagine there's going to be more pop-ups though throughout the fall season. And then in January we have Tempe LibCon, TayuCon in the very first weekend, and then Tempe LibCon. So it's weird how quiet it is, like November, December. I mean, yeah, okay, it's the holidays, but geeks would still totally do stuff, you know.
I sacrifice, like, I always, since all of our cons are like summer, like early fall area for me, it's like I always sacrifice my Christmas and my New Year's just to go to other cons, because I'm like, okay, I'll work Christmas if you give me Halloween, or like give me Thanksgiving, so I can do my cons, and then I'll work the other holidays. And so we don't have a whole lot of stuff during the holidays here, and I think that might just be because holidays, like, it's a lot harder for people to get time off work. I know for me, where I work, like, getting time off during the holidays is nearly impossible without like juggling schedules with other managers. So
that's true.
It's rough. Yeah.
Yeah. A couple more comments. Joe says, "Oh, Anthony says, cute cat, Chibi." That's her. That's her stand-in. Her stand-in, Peppadoo. Joe says, "Looking forward to Tucson Comic-Con. Think is my next." Okay. And then Matthew, I was thinking of Dionysus from Hades for Game On.
Yes.
A friend might do a gender bend Zag and Aphrodite if we do. Nice. That sounds. I haven't done my whole lineup yet.
Dionysus is my favorite. Like,
I haven't done my lineup yet, but I definitely want to get in the Magician Symmetra. Oh, Anthony, you said that's your favorite from Symmetra. I know she's my main, and I've never cosplayed her. I'm like, what the heck? Ray says, I've been trying to find other Hades cosplayers for a while now. Well, there you go. I still need to get my TCC ticket, Matthew says, and a place to stay. And then Joe says, see you at Tucson. Yeah, Tucson's a little quiet town south of Phoenix, about an hour and a half drive. I have some friends there too, so my friends will come too as well. So yeah. Oh, we're almost out of time, guys. So throw in any questions that you have in the chat for us. We will go ahead, and we didn't really do an intro because we were all jumbled, and I do apologize for that. We will get organized, I swear. But yeah,
this month kind of kicked our butts.
Like May, and then I feel like May was nuts already. Like, we all knew that, and then June just kind of like continued with the the insanity. And July, I hope, is just quiet. I just want July to be quiet, except for, well, now we have Gambate number 4, so that's not going to be quiet. So, Chibi, where can we find you?
I guess you can find me at Chibi_Raincloud on Instagram and Twitch, and that's right now it. I've been kind of quiet on the internet just because things have been crazy on my end. I do have another channel I've been working on called Aspen's Quest. That's Aspen_Quest on Instagram. If you're interested in history and LGBTQ rights, go check out that channel.
I love history.
I just started an anime that's very historical, and like my poor partner has to like suffer through me.
What is it?
Screaming. It's called Therma Romanova, and it's ridiculous. It's on Netflix. At least US Netflix and Canada Netflix. But it's about a ancient Roman who gets isekai'd into modern Japan.
Oh, I want to watch it.
and it's ridiculous. And I study antiquity and ancient history, so like I of course fell in love with it. Also, David Wald, one of my favorite directors and voice actors, does a lot with it. So like
I'm gonna have to watch that.
It's
I
so
love
perfect.
I love isekais. Like I can't believe I do, but I do. And then
I'm very picky about mine, so I have to say it's borderline not isekai because it's the same world. It's just timeline stuff. So I don't know if you want to call it that, but
so kind of more like Inuyasha, like the whole like
exactly.
timeline jumping.
And the whole plot of this entire anime is bathhouses.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
because
Rome has a Timia, which is like the bathhouse, which was a very like important part of their culture, and then same with the bathhouses and onsens of Japan. So it's a very fun like crossover. And speaking from somebody who has a heavy background in history, like I am obsessed with it. It's so perfect. I literally watched the first episode with like the most critical eye. I was like, nah, they're gonna screw up so much. I'm gonna point out every detail that was wrong, and I couldn't point out anything. I was like,
oh, that sounds like fun. I wanna check it out.
Everything's so pretty. It's very funny and just like kind of aloof and goofy. But it actually has some like real history and like real facts about onsens and stuff. So if you're kind of into that thing, like weird, but it's fantastic, and I'm enjoying it immensely.
Okay, yeah, that's going to be on my to watch list. And guys, I'm Jinx Cosplay. You can find me at jinxcosplay.com, or you can find me on socials at the Jinx Cosplay. And for CosTalkLive, we stream on 3 platforms: Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube every Sunday at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Pacific Daylight Time, sorry, that's Mountain Standard Pacific Daylight. I know everyone's so confused. Just 12 o'clock. And we will see you later. Guys, next week, I think we should probably not stream because it's going to be 4th of July on Monday, and I'm probably going to be busy. I don't know. We'll see. We may take next weekend off for the holiday, but we'll let you guys know. So yeah, thank you so much for tuning in, guys. We'll see you later. Bye.